Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today because I am still in Las Vegas. And I have a treat for you guys today. I'm going to show you something completely different. And that is the Las Vegas Sphere. So I'm going to put myself up in the corner up here and just let this thing play out because I went there last night and filmed this for you, and this place is absolutely amazing. But we are going to cover how dangerous the money is right now, and how, you have to look at this. You can't ignore what's going on, especially with what happened here in Las Vegas. Before I get into it, like the video as always, hit the subscribe button. Today we have a sponsor, Patriot Gold, but let's get into it. The Sphere. This thing has taken years to build. It is a round dome, and it is something that if you've gone to a conference, if you've gone to any event here, you could not help. If you fly in and out of Vegas, you can't help but see this thing. But what it is a digital TV set. It is unbelievable. They have the most amazing way of promoting videos, commercials. Just the quality is unbelievable. As you see here, it's just something that people sit there and park, and now that it's open, you can sit there and watch this thing. Now, first things first, the thing cost $2.3 billion to make. It is a concert arena. It's a round arena that supposedly has the greatest sound ever. It opens on September 29th, and the opening concert's going to be the rock band U2, which is very cool. But when you see this thing, it just is absolutely amazing. And it's another reason why Vegas is going to be huge. It just really is. So enjoy this, enjoy the footage that I got for you guys, but it's just a beautiful, it's just amazing. And I could have sat there for 2 hours and watched this thing, but let's get into it. With the Las Vegas hack, and with the video from yesterday, which I highly recommend everybody looks, Las Vegas is under attack. This is something that you need to look at and take very seriously. They keep talking about how we're going to have globally a central bank digital currency, and so many countries, 130 countries have already signed on to do this, okay? This is a disaster. It's a disaster waiting to happen because, number one, your freedoms are going to be completely destroyed, and there is no way around this. You cannot not look at this for what it is. The control that they're going to have with your purchases, and they're talking about it'll make it inclusive. It'll make it so that everybody's going to be able to participate in this and be able to have access to money that didn't have it. That's ridiculous. You've got people with debit cards. You've got people right now that are on different types of assistance programs, and they get free stuff, and they're given ways of paying for things, whether it be an EBT card or something. So if they want cash or they want food, they can get it. Now, the problem with the central bank digital currency, what happens if it gets hacked? Let's not talk about the political side of it, of them not liking your purchases. But if this thing got hacked, what would happen if it turned into Las Vegas? Now, we're getting more and more information as the hours go by, and you're hearing now that Caesar's Palace got hacked in a huge, huge way. And when you sign up for a players club, you have to give your Social Security card because they assume whether you play $5 bets or 50-cent bets or $50 bets that you're going to win someday, and that you're going to have to pay taxes on that. So to beat that, they have your Social Security number in the system. Millions of those were hacked right now. So there's going to be a huge lawsuit with Caesar's Palace. Now, from someone who's been the victim of identity theft before, it is maddening. It is something that once these people get a hold of things and they start applying for credit and they start getting tax returns and things like that in your name, it is a matter of playing catch up and trying to fight something it's a huge battle against you because you've seen those commercials. You're months behind these people. These people are so ahead of you, and you're months behind them. So that's one thing. But what's going to happen if there was a hack and the money, the digital money, was shut off? Now, MGM Grand, we all saw that. We all saw people standing around. We all saw an archaic system. Well, what are they going to do? Go back to dollars at that point? We won't have dollars. So you have to look at this. You have to think about this and fight this and do everything you can to not let this happen, because a cashless society, oh, it's a good thing, Dan. We live in a cashless society right now. We do not. We do not. Is the casino a cashless society? It's not. It's all computerized. And they were crippled and brought to their knees in a couple of days. What would the world be like for the people that are not prepared out there with cash and with supplies and money and security? Security, security, security. What would the world be like? Okay? Well, it would be war, is what it would be. It would be anarchy. It would be fighting in the streets, because a hungry person, you know how you get when you skip a meal and, gosh, I haven't eaten in 8 hours. I got to get something. Imagine 3, 5 days, 8 days. Now, the casino, this should scare you, because the more I thought about this, the more chaotic it got and the worse it got. So it's not a good thing, guys. This central bank digital dollar, this is going to be an absolute disaster. And we've seen, all these tests that we've heard about. It's just a matter of time until this goes into place, and we're going to be the last ones to know about it. You know that? Seriously. And once it's in place, they can shut it off. But that you want to go where the money's at, they go to casinos. Well, where's the rest of the money back? So, a central bank. If they could go to a central bank and shut down a central bank, don't you think these hackers would do that? They're absolutely brilliant people. Now, do I think they're misguided and stealing? Yeah, if they put their efforts to better use, could they make billions of dollars? Yes, but this is about power, this is about control, and they got it. They got it. They beat the MGM Grand, and it is absolutely chaotic. Saw a woman in a scooter that needs to have it last night. I was talking to her, and she said they locked me out of my room for a day, and I couldn't get my medication. All the things we talked about, guys, all the things we talked about, okay? So it's just a matter of time until, if this goes into place, it's going to be corrupted. I just believe it. I believe it more than ever. We have to fight the central banks from doing this, but look at the casino. Look at MGM Grand, that huge casino operation being brought to its knees. And again, I implore you to watch that video, just because when you see it and how it went back to the Stone Ages of casino days, this is more to come on this. And you're going to see more of this, but imagine your money being shut off. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. You cannot ignore what's going on in the news, and these stories write themselves. Robert Kiyosaki steps forward and says, people need to get themselves in on an asset that is disappearing and that there is not enough of, and that is silver. You need to have metals in your retirement now more than ever. Look at what Japan just did. Japan is not Zimbabwe. They're not some third world country. They are out buying gold in a complete frenzy right now. Do yourself a favor, call the good people at Patriot Gold today, 888-330-1431, and find out if you can get a metals-backed IRA or 401k to help secure your retirement. Do it now before it's too late. Think about this. Japan is on a buying frenzy right now of gold. Look at what other central banks are doing. Protect yourself. Do it before it's too late. Use the link below or call them today at 888-330-1431. The instability of the global economy cannot be ignored anymore. Check out Patriot Gold today. Let them know that I allegedly sent you. Now, one thing that we have to talk about is the United Auto Workers strike. And here's the thing about our government that I don't agree with at all. Okay, it's always the little guys getting messed with, Well, in one sense, I agree with this. Do you know that people that work the line at Ford, some of them, think about this, make $17 an hour assembling Ford automobiles? Is that insane? Okay, huh? Think about this. California's going to pass a law that's going to pay people flipping your hamburgers and for your Happy Meal, they're going to make them, $20 an hour now. So I would think that, what's the union doing for these people, okay? So they're going to strike. Now they're talking about record profits. And Joe Biden steps forward today and says, hey, the auto companies are in the midst of record profits. Well, I don't know what planet he's on, but because of the green initiative and how destroyed the auto industry is and how they're making products that nobody wants. Think about this. Other than the Ford F-150, name a product that you'd want to buy from either Ford or GM. Jim Farley, that clown, okay, that guy makes $21 million a year. Now, again, Union Joe, okay, couldn't negotiate lunch right now. That's the problem with this. So to rely on Joe Biden for this is ridiculous at this point. But Ford this year in 2023 is going to lose $4.5 billion. I think the auto industry is completely broken. And I think that wages are not enough for certain workers. Absolutely, I really do. Now that I've started to research this, I'm like, how do you live? How do you, what in Michigan, can you live on $17 an hour? Can you buy a car? Can't buy a Ford because they're too damn expensive. So what are you gonna do? Seriously. Mary Barra, who's the CEO of GM, we've gotten over 1,000 demands from GM and from the auto workers during this time, not from GM, but from the auto workers during this time since July on trying to negotiate this out, and it's just been overwhelming. Well, do your job. What do you think a negotiation is? They're unhappy. Now, think about this. The last auto strike cost GM $3 billion. They say that this could cost them billions of dollars a month right now. So that this is going to be unprecedented, and Stellantis, because of their shenanigans, if there is some type of deal, they may be left out of it to where they have a longer term period that they're going to have to wait to settle this. So once again, guys, you got a guy that makes $21 million selling cars that we don't want. And I want you to tell me, who is out there going to buy a Ford, GM, or Stellantis, or Chrysler? Who's going to do that right now? Who's out there to buy a new car? Why would you buy a new car? Man, oh man, okay? The car market is falling off a cliff right now, okay? So is this a good time to negotiate a strike? No, not really. It really isn't. But is it desperate at this point? Kind of is for these guys, because it's kind of ridiculous. Now, one thing that's crazy is that a UPS worker posted his salary, and some of these UPS workers are making so much money. There are UPS workers with overtime that make well over $100,000 a year, and this is what the auto workers are bringing forward. Wait, a guy driving a truck delivering packages is making over 100 grand a year. Shouldn't we be making that? You guys decide. I mean, seriously, I think that this is the shape of where things are at right now. You cannot negotiate this way. And a friend of mine reached out to me yesterday and said, I need help asking for more money. And the problem with it is that everybody does it like, hey, give me more money. And you need to present it as, what's my path from someone that's loyal, from someone that's been here over 20 years and does the job of 3 people. How do I get to a point that my salary looks like this? And, again, your managers, HRs, every time I talk about this, people try to correct me. Negotiation 101, you need to ask for more. But again, it gets to a point that they shut things down. Who cares right now? Do you care that they shut the Ford, GM, and Chrysler down? Seriously. I mean, this is popcorn fodder, guys. This is just sitting there and, enjoying the sphere, okay? I mean, this is crazy talk right now to sit there and to think that they should get, $300,000 a year. Your cars will be priced out of, out of line for any average person to be able to afford. But you need to have something realistic. This isn't right. Now, one thing you have to look at is Ray Dalio steps forward and says, hey, don't buy debt right now. Stay away from debt, stay away from investing in debt. Businesses that are investing in debt, loan obligations, debt obligations, any security that's backed by debt, stay away from it right now. What does Ray Dalio know that we don't know? What inside information does Ray Dalio have? He, used to run the world's largest hedge fund, Bridgewater. Now he's the, chairman emeritus, vacation billionaire, sitting around. But when you look at this, you have to take this seriously. Think about this. Business corporate debt is up 176% this year. Defaults are up 176%. You have more companies that are public companies that are defaulting globally right now. Here in the States, you've got 23 major players that have defaulted on loans this year. And it's up. It's up. It's not going in the right direction. It's going down, and you're seeing more and more businesses that cannot survive. So again, negotiating needs to come back together. You need to streamline companies. You need to have your costs down. You need to have your wages down. You need to have everybody be as efficiently as possible. And I'm telling you, if you have a small business, the one thing that I tell everybody is that everybody in your company sells. Everybody sells. Start with, from the person that answers the phone to your installers to every single person. How they represent your company is how you're selling your product. And they should sell. They should do everything they can to bring in more business right now, because that's going to be crucial moving forward in this global economy. But when you have, all these defaults, when you have countries like Japan buying all this yen, Robert Kiyosaki, who has been just talking about how bad everything is and how we're going to see a real estate collapse unlike anything else that we've seen, great. I believe that more than ever. Also, buy silver, guys. It's incredibly inexpensive right now, but you should have physical silver in your investment portfolio to protect yourself, and you should have cash in the house right now. So, look at these. Look at all of these things that are happening around us. Things are not good right now, okay? Talking to Las Vegas, you have people coming here. There's more people coming to Las Vegas right now as the economy heats back up, but they're not spending the money. Some of the high-end restaurants are not as busy as they were before. You're seeing different things happen, but it's apparent that people don't have the money that they had before. Man, oh man, we have to talk about something that's kind of funny, and that is that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez went to have a press conference in New York City today, and it was cut short by hecklers. Man, it was solid gold, okay? She was talking about how New York City is a disgrace, and we need to give these people work permits, and we need to fix this city. And the people of New York came out in droves, which is a hugely democratic city, but they came down and they were furious with her. And if you see any of this footage, which I found the news story below from the New York Post, it's awesome. She couldn't get a word in, and none of it could be heard. Noah Nadler, the senator, his name's Jerry Nadler, but my friends and I call him Noah Nadler because he wears his pants up to here, and he's waiting for a flood clearly. So Noah Nadler was out also and couldn't get a word in. So this was their chance to talk about, giving work permits and supporting all these people for free. You and I, can't get free stuff, but these people are getting everything, and they're destroying New York City. So read the story below, because it is solid gold, but the fact that they got shut down the way that they did is amazing. Now, there's a movie out called Dumb Money, and it's the story of basically GameStop and how these kids purchased a stock and told people to buy it because there were so many hedge funds like Ken Griffin's that had shorted GameStop and bet billions of dollars on it. They lost so much money, and these kids, the retail investors, made all this money. So great story, but one thing that's fascinating is Ken Griffin steps forward, and this guy is, the way I was portrayed by Ken Offerman was terrible, and I'm not that into art. And again, the thing that people focus on is funny. And what's great is rich people, how they get themselves worked up over stuff. You're seeing, New York rents still sky high. And I've got two stories for you. One of them talking about how rents are completely out of control, and would you want to pay huge rents in New York City right now with everything that's going on with the debacle right now with immigration? Who would do that? One woman is to combat this has come up with something where think about this, the rent is $20,000 a month, $20,000 a month. And it's of course got a restaurant downstairs and the high rise, and the rent is 20 grand a month. She has purchased a credit at the restaurant downstairs. If you rent her place, you get $20,000 in eats downstairs. 20 grand of free food at a restaurant, okay? Get you 3 or 4 meals, but kind of crazy, guys, when you think about that. So share your thoughts on this stuff so far. Hope you guys like the sphere. Isn't that cool? That's so amazing. It's such a cool experience to check this out. I'm going to end this video with these last couple stories, and 2 things. Producer price index, the PPI, wholesale inflation went up 0.7% last month, guys. Sky high. So wholesale prices went up 0.7%, and we're not supposed to think that everything else is going to go up too. Things are going through the roof right now. So there's that. Plus, businesses can't get credit, guys. So you're seeing more credit cut off. Take a look at the story below. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Onward and Upward. Email me at hello@iAllegedly. Thank you, and I'll see you guys very soon.